Most people watched Netflix's One Piece and thought, wow, a good adaptation. Faithful. Fun. That's what they saw. What they felt, they didn't have words for. Because Season 1 wasn't just a story. It was an awakening. And Season 2 is about to test whether you keep that awakening or give it up for comfort. Let's go deeper. The word adaptation comes from the Latin adaptar, to fit. Netflix didn't just adapt One Piece to live action. They adapted it to this moment in human history, at a time when people feel watched, measured, managed, at a time when freedom feels abstract. Season 1 begins with a boy in a barrel. That matters. A barrel is a container. A limit. A system. Luffy doesn't escape it violently. He emerges. Symbolically, that's birth, not physical birth, identity birth. Luffy enters a world already ruled by Marines. Maps, ranks, and permission sound familiar. The Marines represent order without soul. The word marine comes from mare, the sea. Yet they fear it. They claim to protect freedom while policing it. If that's not fiction, that's every modern system that says, we're doing this for your safety. Season 1 is about remembering freedom. Season 2 is about paying the cost of it. In Season 1, the villains are personal. Fear, greed, survival trauma. Arlong isn't just a monster, he's what happens when pain becomes identity. Nami doesn't just steal maps, but she's trying to control the future because the past controlled her. If that's real, trauma always tries to predict, so it never feels powerless again. And Luffy breaks that pattern by doing something radical. He doesn't fix people, he accepts them. Spiritually, that's important. Freedom doesn't come from changing who you are. It comes from being seen without armor. But that's why people cried during Season 1 without knowing why. Now listen carefully. Season 2 is where the tone shifts. The grand line begins. The word grand comes from grandis, large, powerful, overwhelming. The word line comes from linea, a boundary. The grand line is a boundary you cross when you can no longer live safely pretending. Spiritually, this is the initiation phase. In myths, this is where heroes lose innocence. In real life, this is where people wake up and realize freedom has consequences. Season 2 introduces deeper powers, devil fruits, logias, hidden forces. The word devil comes from diabolos, the one who divides. Notice the pattern. Devil fruits give power but separate you from the sea. Water is source, flow, nature. When you identify too strongly with power, labels, or ego, you lose the ability to flow. That's not anime logic. That's spiritual law. Season 2 will also lean harder into history. The Void Century. A missing story. In real life, missing history isn't accidental. Control never erases the future first. It erases the past. Because a person without memory is easier to guide. That's why Robin becomes more dangerous than any fighter. Knowledge threatens systems more than strength ever could. And that's why truth is always criminalized first. Season 1 asked, who are you when you remember freedom? Season 2 asks, who are you when freedom costs you everything? This is where many people turn back. In One Piece. And in real life, that's why most people don't want freedom. They want permission. But pirates don't ask. The word pirate means one who dares. Not one who conquers. One who risks being misunderstood. Netflix's One Piece isn't just entertainment, but it's a mirror. Season 1 reminds you who you were before fear taught you how to survive. Season 2 will ask if you're brave enough to keep living as that person when the world pushes back. Because awakening is easy, integration is hard, and the greatest illusion ever sold is that this is just a show. Stories are how truth survives when it can't speak openly, and One Piece is still speaking. The real question isn't what happens next in Season 2. The real question is, when the world tests your freedom, will you still choose it? Because freedom doesn't begin when chains are broken. Freedom begins when you refuse to forget who you are. If this opens something in you, like the video so it reaches who needs it. Subscribe to Word Mystery for hidden meanings, forgotten truths, and stories that wake you up. And share this with someone who feels there's more to reality than what they were told. Because remembering is the first act of freedom.